Hello everybody. In this video we'll try to discuss some of the interesting things about Mula Nakshatra. This is the first video of Mula Nakshatra. See, Mula is a 19th nakshatra in the nakshatra system, and it is a Ketu nakshatra, and it ranges from 0 degrees of Sagittarius to 13 degree 20 minutes of Sagittarius. So it basically starts the sign of Sagittarius in the zodiac. And if you observe, it consists of a bunch of 9 stars. Those 9 stars were actually seen by our ancient Vedic seers as forming a shape similar to a lion's tail. So every nakshatra consists of some group of stars, and Mula consists of 9 stars. If you observe other stars like Hasta consists of 5 stars, then Kritika consists of 7 stars, Ashwini Nakshatra consists of 2 stars, Rohini consists of 1 single star, Arudra also consists of 1 single star. And if you observe Mula Nakshatra, the most interesting thing about Mula Nakshatra is its location corresponds to the center of the Milky Way. So Mula is considered as the center of our galaxy, and among these 9 stars, as 2 stars having visual magnitude of 1.63 and 2.68. So significant visual magnitude, as visual magnitude is inversely proportional to brightness, and these have a bit lesser visual magnitude. So these two, among the 9 stars of Mula, these 2 stars have some good amount of brightness and can be easily visible in the night sky, in that lion's tail part. So Mula, you can just understand the energy of this nakshatra or behavior of this nakshatra by the meaning itself. Mula means root, the center, the innermost core, because it is the center of our galaxy and it has the behavior of a center or roots. Basically, if you observe the whole picture of our nakshatra system, it's something like, if you assume the whole thing as a tree, the roots are in Mula Nakshatra. So it's very straight, direct, and no beat around the bush kind of thing, right? It's something like, it's very straightforward nakshatra. It's a very direct. So you can understand, see, somebody is telling you everything very directly, very straightforwardly. How you feel it? It's a bit aggressive, right? It's a bit uncomfortable sometimes, right? So yes, that kind of behavior is seen in Mula Nakshatra. And see, its main symbol is also tied bunch of roots, and it's the name and the symbol, everything is conveying the information of root. So basically, Mula Nakshatra energy people want to know the root of everything, and this particular nakshatra is at the center of our galaxy. So that it conveys the same idea, right? And just like its planetary ruler Ketu, this particular nakshatra deals with getting to the bottom or core of everything. And in the trees and plants, roots are usually hidden. So you can understand, that means that, see, this nakshatra deals with all kinds of hidden things, all kinds of hidden dreams, hidden events, hidden motives. So the tied bunch of roots symbolizes the restrictive aspect of this nakshatra as well. If you observe, in the month of December 2019, we had a solar eclipse that happened in Mula Nakshatra. And see, after that, the world was restricted to their own houses due to COVID. And one more thing is, Mula Nakshatra is in Ayurveda, it's very much famous, and it also indicates bacteria, viruses, microorganisms that you cannot see with naked eye. And after December 2019 solar eclipse, as an eruption of virus. See, that solar eclipse was not a simpler one. That was a kind of 6-planet or 7-planet conjunction solar eclipse which occurred in the nakshatra of Mula. So clearly, the behavior of Mula was seen after December 2019, restrictive nature and also the virus. See, the term root is very much important. It also means properly rooted. So this particular energy gives a strong foundation to the actions of this nakshatra. Its symbol also means collecting or tying up what belongs to one. See, what do you mean by this one? See, Ketu is the one who stores our past karmas and releases the ones ripe enough to be experienced in the present life. Ketu stores all your past karmas, and once a karma is fructified in the present life, he releases it. So basically, Mula Nakshatra helps one collect the necessary tools from the past which one requires in fulfilling one's goal in the present life. So Mula energy people, they take the energy or the talents of the past lives and they try to nourish and fructify in this current life. And that is the meaning of this symbolism, tied roots. The roots are tied because you're bringing them to the present life. You're bringing your old karmas, the past karmas, very clearly. You have a very clear karmic baggage or a very clear karmic energy or talent you have in the past life, and you are bringing that in the present life for sure, if you are a Mula energy person. So Mula helps one put together in a meaningful way one's talents, and those talents are developed in the past lives. So a tree's roots, if you observe, penetrate into the unseen realms beneath the earth's surface. So Mula has a lot to do with investigation into things unseen or unknown, right? So Mula has the strongest and deepest sense of inquiry amongst all the nakshatras. Compared to all other nakshatras, investigation nakshatra, the research oriented nakshatra is Mula. And in ancient medicinal system, that is Ayurveda, roots of various plants are used for medicinal purposes. They used to make medicines with the roots of plants. So Mula is directly associated with making medicines. So Mula also relates to the roots of diseases also. The diseases related to microorganisms, bacteria, viruses. So the microorganisms are also hidden. That hidden nature is also shown here. Mula is very much about hidden energy because it represents the roots. If you observe roots of plants, they are always hidden. So Mula is very much connected to restrictive nature and hidden nature. And the roots are tied. They are not the normal roots. They are tied. That means limitation, constraint. So Mula, it does not allow too much freedom are scattering away of energies, and you know so generally if you observe a researcher, he focuses all his energy into one thing. Then only he would be able to investigate and inquire about the respective the corresponding subject matter. So that's where Mula is becoming more research oriented, more investigative in nature. And if you observe the deity of Mula Nakshatra, the deity is goddess of dissolution and destruction, and she is known as Niriti. Niriti means in Sanskrit, Niriti means calamity. And the deity Niriti, that is calamity, is the daughter of Adharma, that means unrighteousness, and Himsa, that is violence. Right? So, if Adharma, that is the unrighteousness, and Himsa, that is violence, has a daughter, that daughter is calamity. Because when unrighteousness and violence are becoming more in the world, automatically you can see calamity, and that calamity is Niriti, and Niriti is the deity of Mula Nakshatra. And deity has daughters. This deity Niriti, calamity, has daughters. Because by calamity, what you can expect? You expect fear among the people and also death. So the Mrityu, that is death, and Bhaya, the fear, are the daughters of Niriti. So people generally see Niriti as a destructive demon, or a Lakshmi. Lakshmi is the opposite of Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth, abundance and prosperity. So as opposite of Lakshmi, basically, Mula. So you can see it's not a very pleasant nakshatra, right? And see, it doesn't mean every Mula nakshatra person, let us say somebody has moon in Mula, he's not, very unpleasant. It is not that. He is very unpleasant. You cannot say that, right? Because you need to check other planetary positions, because how much the other planetary positions are allowing this particular energy. But of course, this energy manifests. This energy can be manifest as this aggressive behavior, or the niriti and all the stuff. But if the person's Mars is not very energetic, then how he can show too much of aggression? His aggression is already down. And what if the Mars is gone, right? His aggression is gone. So you need to see how much it is combust, right? So you need to check the whole horoscope. But these energies manifest for sure. If not aggression, let us say aggression is gone because of combustion, then what about his research oriented behavior? The person is generally has this particular research oriented behavior. Then you need to check the dignity of Mercury, dignity of Rahu, and also dignity of Jupiter. Then if one of them, let us say Mercury, has a very good dignity, and then the person is Mula, then just imagine academically, because Mercury represents the academic logical thinking, and then how much the person would delve deep into the subject matter and get the all the concept out of it, right? So this is what you need to check in Mula. So it's not a very pleasant nakshatra, but everything is not doom and gloom with this nakshatra. You need to remember. You need to check the whole horoscope. See, it lies in the luckiest among the signs, that is Sagittarius. So we should not think it's completely bad, right? And of course, it's in the lucky Sagittarius, and of course ruled by, the Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter is benefic. Generally, it's a natural benefic, but functionally malefic, or you have Kendradipatya dosha. You may need to check the whole horoscope, of course, in order to talk about Jupiter also. But I just want to tell, if a person has Mula energy, do not judge the person just based on that. You need to check the whole horoscope and how much energies are actually fructifying, how much are actually being manifested in the horoscope, right? You need to slowly observe the horoscope, how much energies it is actually reflecting, how much energies the horoscope is actually reflecting. You need to check deliberately. And see, Mula is a powerful nakshatra, that is for sure, right? It is a powerful nakshatra, and even on the material plane it is powerful, and it can give worldly status and prosperity as well. The only thing is that it usually takes it all away from the native at some point. So it is absurd that even though it gives some power, some status, some prosperity, but those things would be taken away at some point of time in life. And it's not uncommon in the sense that death takes away all these things from everyone anyways. But as Mula is related to that dreadful things, so it's something like taking away is also there in Mula. And Niriti shouldn't be seen as a goddess of poverty, misfortune and calamity. See, in fact, her nakshatra represents the peak of material achievement, right? And of course the beginning of spiritual impulse. It's the height of material achievement. And Mula is 19th nakshatra. 19 is also a very lucky number for all types of material achievements. See, just like Kali, the fierce form of Parvati, her destructive aspect is always constructive in some sense. Because after destruction, we would see some construction. Her nakshatra, this particular Niritis, that is Mula nakshatra, it promotes non-violence and all other such virtues after a proper understanding has been attained. So but in order to get that understanding, so much of pain, so much of so much of destruction, so much of so many problems. So this is the energy. Basically, I don't want to very much. I don't want to be very much negative about this nakshatra, but there is some part of it. But on top of it, you would see something after once the understanding is very clearer for these natives, then things would fructify. But before that, their behavior, their kind of the problems, very, very, for outsiders, it seems why the person is behaving this way, what is missing in his life, why he is behaving like that, right? This kind of impression it would create, kind of disturbance, a kind of complete, it's not complete, it's a kind of, to some extent it is destructive, right? The person's life would go like anything, it's a kind of roller coaster. But suddenly, once the understanding, the main thing is understanding the situations is very much important for this nakshatra. So they have to control their behavior to understand what is really happening. Just calm down, slow down, understand, take the support of good people and try to understand what you are actually doing. Once your understanding is clearer, then you would see the magic, then you would see more success, more achievements, right? But see, I want to tell you one thing. If you're seeing some bad phase in your life, of course you would see, because that is there, the negative energy is there. Just be calm, understand. You're missing your understanding, you're lagging in your understanding. Just observe that. observe that you're lagging in your understanding the situations. That's where you're failing. Once you understand, once you are matured in your understanding, once you reduce your ego, your aggression, right? Of course, at least the ego aggression part, I'm not sure you can reduce based on your Sun and Mars, right? But generally, it is also not, no maturity would be seen in ego and aggression, but understanding, you can do that. Understanding, right? I've seen so many Mula people, uh, they have some part of negative life, but once their understanding is clearer, they're able to, get success. But the ego and that aggression part is also kind of, it seems to be controlled. It's not completely controlled, but yes, they can try to control it as well based on the Sun and Mars position. And of course, based on the Mercury position, yes, Mercury, Rahu, Jupiter, based on them, yes, they can achieve more in research oriented things. And see, Mula's primary approach to life is to get to the root of anything. It is a very, very restless nakshatra, and it will stop at nothing until it has exercised its will. Once its goal is achieved, then only, it's something like it will stop, right? So not all natives under a strong influence of Mula are this much extreme, but of course they do try to fully utilize whatever willpower is available at their command. I'm talking about the willpower, I'm not, so they have a will, right? They have will. They want to fulfill that. Then only they would feel better. Basically, it's a kind of a bit of negative energy is present, but yes, understanding can control it. And it is in Mula's nature to quickly cut out and destroy things that have lost their value, right? So once the value is lost, it can be a relationship, it can be any materialistic thing, or it can be a job or whatever, right? Once the value is lost, the nature it is to quickly cut out and destroy. So it is a very impulsive nakshatra, that's what I want to tell. And it regrets its actions once done. So they feel that some relationship, some job or whatever, if they feel that it has lost its value, they quickly cut out, they destroy, and then they feel, they repent, they feel bad about that, they regret. So that behavior they have to control, they have to control that behavior. See, only when its will is in tune with the universal will, then yes, Mula behaves in a Jupiterian way. So they have this tendency that they have to fulfill their will, and they do it. And it can be cutting off the things or whatever, it can be destroying or whatever, but then they regret. But let us say the will that they have is in tune with the universe, is for a good cause, then yes, once it is fulfilled, yes, they feel very happy. So that's where how much Mula, the Mula energy is actually matured in the native, that we need to observe. The Mula is matured or it is functioning in its lowest level. If it is functioning in its lowest level, you would see this kind of bad things, destructive things, right? So clearly you need to check how much this particular nakshatra's energy is basically matured. Then if it is working in a highest level, is high energy with a very positive energy, then they want to complete their will very with so much of it's for them, it would be quick also, right? So they can fulfill the will, and that's just see it, that is very good for the world, the society. And that's where you need to check the whole horoscope. Where is Jupiter, the morality, right, aspect? Where is the Mercury? How decent is Mercury? Where is Mars, especially? Where is Sun? So the dignity of different planets, if they are all very positive, at least some of them are positive, yes, the person can do something good for the society. So this particular struggle between individual, so it is working for individual level or universal level, it's working for a selfish cause or for a better cause, so based on that you can see, right? Because it's a Ketu nakshatra. Ketu nakshatras are always about self, right? Based on the self. The self level is not just becoming selfish, it's also to know the self, to understand the self, right? So how much level it is, the energies are going, right? So if it is working in its highest level, then yes, it's a very good thing. So thanks for watching this video. In our next video, we'll try to understand some more interesting things about Mula Nakshatra. Thank you.